Good morning, Stick here. This morning I thought we'd have a quick flip through of the Basic Impetus rules. I got these last year. Originally they were a free downloadable set of rules from the Impetus website, and they were kind of like a introductory game for the full Impetus game that came later. But Impetus 2 has been released, and it's its own standalone game now. Very similar in some ways to DBA with the size of armies and stuff, which I'll show you in a second. So the book itself contains 340 army lists, which is a big selling point for me. It costs about £25 if I remember correctly, something like that, and can be ordered from North Star in the UK or direct from the Daddy and Piombo website in Italy. So I'll have a quick look. So inside there, the rules themselves, I think they only go on for about 16 pages. So we're starting off with the introduction there, what you need to play, details of battlefield, the size of the battlefield depending on what scale of figures you're using, goes into the basing, base sizes, all that sort of stuff. How measurement's done, which is all in base widths, or half base widths. So you just need to make up like a small marker, as I've done. 2 seconds. So I use 80mm frontage bases, so I've made 2 of those, just 40mm measurements for halfway base width. Anyway, then it starts talking about troop types, foot troops and things like that. Onto this side then we've got the mounted troops, all the different troop types, how they're organised in units, and the unit statuses. So we're talking about things like whether the units are fresh, worn, disordered, all that sort of thing. It's all very, very clear, very well written, easy to understand. Goes on to disordered units, how you can organise your units into groups, large units, the battlefield, how you set it up, different types of terrain. It's all very straightforward. Terrain types and its effect on firing and combat. So if you're playing sort of a tournament, goes into the size and shape of the terrain and all that sort of stuff. There's even some random terrain generator tables there that you can use if you want to. Goes into deployment, and then the rules themselves actually for the actual game start probably about page 7, so we're into initiative and activation. Goes into the turn sequence, the initiative roll, movement, lots of movement, bit of zone of control rules there. It's very simple, a lot simpler than what it was in the original Impetus. Charging, interpenetration, evasion, it goes on to firing. There's handy diagrams and things as well. The actual procedure for shooting. The one slight complaint I do have about it is there's too many different types of bows and things. So you've got longbow A, longbow B, shortbow A, shortbow B, composite bow, crossbow A, crossbow B. You know, it's supposed to be quite a simple, fast-played game. Why have all these different ones? I'm sure there's a reason. I don't quite get it, but you know, it's simple enough anyway. Goes on to the cohesion test, indirect fire, firing limitations, arcs, defensive fire for certain troops. Then it goes into all the melee rules again, handy diagrams, some nice pictures in it as well. It goes into retreat, pursuit, some examples of multiple melees with loads of different units all in one big scrap. Victory conditions at the end, just a small paragraph, and that is it. That's the basic rules, and it goes on to fighting great battles, they call it, so bigger battles, so multiple armies, all on the same size, so multiple commands. Just 2 pages of that, and then that's it, page 16, that's all the rules done. And then start from page 17, it starts with the army list, and as you can see, anyone familiar, I'll try and zoom in on a couple here. Anyone familiar with DBA will probably recognise these kind of lists. very simple. Gives you a few options at the bottom, so you can change your armies slightly. But it starts right at the Age of Chariots. Zoom back out again a little bit. And then on to so there's all Age of Chariots stuff, the Age of Hoplites. Yeah, so the Age of Hoplites start here, and it goes through. It just goes through all of ancient history, really. Absolutely loads of different lists. Again, 340 of them. All army lists. There's even a picture of some of my figures in there, which is good. There you go. Had to get that in, sorry. I'm not being big-headed, but it was always nice, isn't it? Yes, there's some of my figures there. Yes, just absolutely tons of army lists in here. Going all the way to the back, even up to the 15th century. There's like the Venetian Republic, the Papal States, Republic of Florence, Italy, and all that sort of stuff. Swedish, all the way up to the 100 Years' War, Wars of Roses, War in the New World, all the Crusades and stuff like that. Renaissance Europe, it goes all the way up to. And then in the back, in the back there we've got some markers and things. So measurement sticks, as I've already made, so I don't have to cut it out of the book basically. So there's your 28mm, 15mm zone of control markers, some more stuff, and then quick reference sheets at the back. And that's pretty much it. Really well produced, spiral bound so it lays nice and flat on your table. It's a really good introductory Ancients game. Anyone who's interested in Ancients, or you're trying to get other people into Ancients, use this set of rules. Really handy. And what I've done, just for the armies I use, I just made a simple Excel spreadsheet, and I just have that at the side of the table. Didn't take up any space. It's got all your, that's my Spartan army. It doesn't take up any space, really. It's a handy little reference there for all your troops. Dead easy. And there's one for my Athenians. Really simple. What I'll try and do is I'll go through in my next video about Basic Impetus. I'll try and go through some army building and the different options and how it works. It's a little bit rushed, this video. I've never done a kind of review or flip through of a book before, so I thought I'd have a try. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed watching it, and I'll make another one soon. Okay, thank you very much for watching, and bye bye.